Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, we have an update with the Daniel Penney situation and what's going on. Now, we do have that is in deliberations, and some jurors have asked questions, and then he's apparently also getting sued. So, there's a lot of crazy things that's going on with this whole Daniel Penney situation, and we'll be going over it here and kind of give you guys the update. I think the next update will be when he actually gets the verdict, and hopefully he does not get put in prison. But I don't have very much hope with New York. New York jurors or New York people in general. They're kind of a failure of a society, honestly. But this here, neither here or there. Now, what we have here is this from from the Daily Wire saying jurors in Daniel Penney case review crucial video evidence and ongoing deliberations. No matter what side people were on regarding Daniel Penney guilt and the death of Jordan Neely, many believed a verdict would come quickly, which I don't think it has. That hasn't happened, and jurors are entering their second full day of deliberations on Thursday. Since deliberations began, the jurors have asked to review key pieces of evidence, including 3 videos tied to the case. Penney is charged with second-degree manslaughter and a lesser charge of criminally negligent homicide. Jurors can find him guilty of one of the charges or acquit him of all charges. On Wednesday, jurors asked to review body cam footage from police taken as they arrived at the scene after Penney placed Neely in a chokehold. Penney said he took action because Neely was threatening passengers on the New York City subway. They also asked to review the original video of the incident taken by another passenger, and the footage from Penney's interrogation with police where they didn't tell him Neely has died. Goes on to say, jurors also asked to review the cross-examination of New York medical examiner Dr. Cynthia Harris, who testified that she made the determination Neely died due to asphyxiation based on video alone before the toxicology report came back. That I remember, you guys should know that I did a video about this very recently, and that she pretty much just lied about the whole situation and didn't even look at the body, didn't even look at the or anything, and then didn't even look at the toxicology report and said, yes, that man died due to asphyxiation by Daniel Penney choking him rather than, probably the actual amount of drugs. Which, also, another thing, too, she has gone out and said that, oh, well, even if he had, enough fentanyl to kill an elephant, I would still deem that it would be he died by Daniel Penney asphyxiation. That makes no bloody sense whatsoever. But that's what she's saying here. Then it says, in November, Penney's defense attorneys questioned Harris why Neely's death certificate originally listed the cause of death as pending further study. Harris said this was due to a misunderstanding from a police report that said Neely had been screaming while police were present. But after viewing video of Penney restraining Neely in a chokehold and appearing unresponsive, Harris made her determination about the cause of death. Harris told the defense that even if Neely had enough fentanyl in his system to take out an elephant, she still would have ruled that he died from asphyxiation. The defense, however, was able to get to her to agree that medical examiners can disagree on the cause of death, and that's not a perfect science. On Tuesday afternoon, less than an hour after deliberation began, jurors asked about the specifics of justification defense for the judge's instructions. To convict Penney, jurors need to agree that Penney's chokehold on Neely was unjustifiable and that he acted recklessly. The jurors were read that section of the judge's instructions, deliberated for another hour and a half, and then went home for the day. Also, on Wednesday, Neely's father, we're going to be doing that too, so file a lawsuit. So, yeah, that's what's going on here. So, the judge's instructions want to be asked for the jurors as well, right? So that's what's going on here. Then we have this here. Daniel Penney, the trial, 3 pieces of evidence jurors asked to see again, which we already got from here, from the Daily Wire. And we have this here, pretty much saying Jordan Neely's father sues Daniel Penney as NYC jury deliberates verdict for a subway chokehold death. Goes on to say Jordan Neely's father is suing Daniel Penney over his son's chokehold death on a New York City subway car as the jury still deliberates whether to convict Penney of manslaughter. The suit filed in New York Supreme Court Wednesday accuses the Long Island Marine veteran of negligent contact, assault, and battery that caused injuries in Neely's death last year. The funny thing is that these people is that is that they finally came into their son's lives, right? They finally came into their son's lives after he served pretty much his purpose, because they didn't think he was worth anything. They didn't house him. They didn't do anything. They didn't give him a place to stay or anything of the sort for him to pick his life up. No, they let him stay out on the street for X amount of years, decades even, and then after that, he dies, and they're like, oh, now we're going to file a lawsuit because we care so much for our son. Yeah, I don't think you did. I think you're trying to use this as a publicity stunt, and also also take this chance to win that easy money because you want to use that whole racial card to get money. That's the whole reason why. That's how disgusting these people are, and I can't fathom on how to even live in New York City when you have people like this garbage doing this. It goes on to say here, Neely's father, Andre Zachary, demands judgment awarding damages in a sum which exceeds the jurisdictional limits of all lower courts, which would otherwise have jurisdiction. And there you have it, proving me correct. It was filed Wednesday as Jurors and Penney's 4-week-long Manhattan trial broke for a second time without reaching a verdict. Goes on to say Neely died, etc., from chokehold, etc. Defense attorneys argue that Neely died from a mix of schizophrenia, drug use, a genetic condition, and the struggle with Penney. Prosecutors, meanwhile, have claimed Penney was criminally reckless and went way too far while grappling with Neely. As the jury requested Wednesday to review body cam of NYPD officers arriving at the scene as EMS tried to revive Neely, as well as video of Penney's precinct interrogation interview with detectives. I wasn't trying to injure him. I've been trying to keep him from hurting anybody else, Penney told the detectives in the videotape interview showed jurors, adding, that's what we were taught in the Marine Corps. Last month Zachary left the courtroom as jurors were the first time shown the infamous video of Penney putting Neely in a chokehold before his son died. So, I wonder if they're actually going to show the clip where the people, like the witnesses, were on Daniel Penney's side in the first place and said he was they praised him for it, like this here, and then after that, of course, you have where they're going to show the video where the guy is being aggressive, he's yelling and whatever and what have you, and that is hopefully they show that video, because if they show the video, the full thing of the guy yelling and doing all this stuff to the passengers, and Daniel Penney just goes into like, I'm going to do a simple restraint, not really a chokehold, but restraint, and yeah, that doesn't seem like it would be I think that would be a very crucial evidence to have to the court and give to the jury, which I don't know how the jury can say, like, oh, well, he's a victim, Jordan Neely's a victim in this. Goes on to say, we even have this from the news agent saying, Daniel Penney trial trending toward possibility of hung jury. Says here, the jury in the high-profile trial of Daniel Penney continues to weigh the ex-Marine's justification for placing Jordan Neely in a chokehold for several minutes on New York City subway, etc. The jury has sent 7 different notes to the judge requesting key pieces of evidence since it began deliberations on Tuesday. The central issue facing the 7 women and 5 men is whether Penney was justified in Neely in the chokehold after witness said Neely was threatening passengers on the train. Among the evidence that the jury has requested are transcripts from testimony from some of the 40 witnesses who testified during the 7-week trial, and cell phone video of Penney placing Neely in the chokehold for nearly 6 minutes. On Wednesday night, the jury requested a specific part of the testimony of the medical examiner in which she discussed issuing a death certificate without toxicology reports. Goes on to say the jury has also requested a video of New York City police body cam footage, etc. from deliberations. So, that being said, a lot of this seems to be quite insane, right? So we'll see on what happens here, what the verdict is. I'm not feeling very confident in this jury, to be honest with you guys. I feel like I have a very strong feeling that he's probably going to be put in jail for this. And that's my strong feeling, but we'll see how it goes, right? We'll see how this plays out, but I don't feel very confident right now the jury's taking this long to determine if this guy actually killed somebody. But, be as it may, this is New York City. And as I said before, if you guys actually, if New York says, like, oh, Jordan Neely should go to jail, Daniel Penney should go to jail for this, you guys are effing yourselves, right? You guys are now screwed. You guys are going to see way more crime prop up because now you can't go and defend somebody. This would also hurt officers because if officers are doing something like this, they could get in trouble for doing a simple chokehold or restraining people, and if they die in this process, well, that's a problem. So New York is going to set up itself for extreme failure and problems if this guy is put in jail. So, dudes of you, New York, you're apt in this situation. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Let's guys share. As always, take care my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. Cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.